All right, we just had our little run over here, but greetings, beautiful people. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about basically, you know, somebody asked me, what do I mean by people, places, and things are tools? Now, you always got to be smart with your energies, okay? Because whenever you are doing something, you always want to do it as, you know, coming from a place where you're observing and not absorbing, okay? And the reason I say this is basically, look at the world, okay? If you see, I mean, trees are green over here, okay? I see the color green my way, but I don't know how you see the color green. You see, the way you see green might be the way I see red, you know? And the way I see red may be the way you see blue. You never know. So basically, you don't know how somebody else perceives the world. Now, there's one thing that, for example, Fire Drake, shout out to Fire Drake, that he said where, you know, we put on each other's lenses. And it's basically you see what I see and then I see what you see. Now, when we start to really look at everybody as an extension of you, we're all here and we're experiencing the world individually, all right, through each other's lenses, but we are all still connected. We are just having individual experiences. But here's the thing though, you know how they say that we can only see a certain percent of the color spectrum, which is like, you know, I think they said it was like 0.1 or 0.2% of the color spectrum. You know, here's the funny thing that I thought about too. How do I know that 1 or 0.2% that I can see, all right, you may be seeing the other 0.2% that I don't see, and in reality, everybody in this collective consciousness holds that 0.1 or 0.2% of that individual color spectrum that I have never seen in my life, okay? And in actuality, the way I see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, maybe you see it in colors that I have never seen in my life, okay? Because don't forget, we can combine colors, we could combine shades of color, but only based on the colors that we know. All right. Now there's colors, for example, where, you know, you'll hear people say that in, you know, in dream states and or, you know, when they have psychedelics, these colors, they're bright and there's some colors they've never seen before. Maybe those are the colors that are missing, but in actuality, the colors that I can see are colors that you've never seen before in your life. So if we say, oh, we only see 0.1% of the color spectrum or 0.1 of what reality actually is, maybe you're seeing the other little piece that I see in a way that I've never seen it before. So this is why, if we all, okay, shared each other's perspective and we all, okay, gave our authentic truth, okay, we can start to now see how everybody outside of you is a piece of the puzzle that you need to complete your game, okay? Yeah, it's, people say, you know, scientists or anybody, people say we can only see 0.1, 0.2% of the color spectrum of what, you know, it actually, you know, the whole totality actually is, right? But it's not to say that we are all seeing the exact same colors. I'm seeing 0.1 or 0.2% of the color spectrum, you're seeing another 0.1 or 0.2. And then somebody else sees another 0.1 or 0.2. And so on and so on, okay? And this is how we all can start to, you know, connect the dots in this way. So look at the way insects don't see the world the way we do it. Some insects have 8 eyes, all right? How do you know that a dog sees a person the same way that I see another person? The way I physically see another person, a dog may not be seeing it that way. A dog may see another person like, just kind of like orbs, just like orb lights, you know? They don't understand language the way we understand language. They're hearing us totally different. See, my dog is here with me, but the way he hears me talking is probably like, hello, you know, that's probably the way he hears me talking. But how do we know that the way they see, they don't see people the way I see people? They probably see people just as like energy orbs. How about insects? They have 8 eyes. How do you think they're perceiving lights and the world? How do you think, I went to a farm where I get my eggs from, where we have the chickens over there, all right? These goats have these crazy looking eyes. The slits of their eyes are completely crazy looking. They see the world completely different. Look at snakes. Snakes have a slit for a pupil. They see the world completely different. Okay? So we can learn. Everybody outside, things, people, places, and things are tools for you to learn from. We talk about the Amazon, right? The Amazon is on fire, okay? But the first thing that happens here that I notice, people put themselves in a victim mentality. They start to complain. It's not in the news. They're not broadcasting it. They're not putting it out in the news. It's not being televised, or they're burning it on purpose. It's always that victim mentality. In actuality, everything outside of you is 99.9999999% empty space. Everything outside of you is information. Okay? But in actuality, how is it, and this sounds cruel, but how is this affecting you here now? It is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. And I put a comment on my last video, all right, where I spoke about when your end game comes, okay, and you start to realize everything that you put your energy and attention to, okay, it really didn't even matter. When in actuality, all that energy and attention that you basically wasted your energy on, you could have redirected it towards you to activate the information that's really within you. Okay? That dormant DNA is just basically you not activating it because you're not directing that energy to power it up. How do you turn a computer on? You got to push a button, right? Are you activating or pushing your buttons? Are you putting yourselves in uncomfortable situations to really turn yourself on? To say, I am, because people think about turn on in a lustful way, but it's not about a lustful way. I mean, really turned on, like turn yourselves on. That channel stream, that shit is flowing like water. That water is powering this turbine. Okay? And then here's what happens now. Now you could start to see the connectivity and everything. All right? We see it in movies how, we have superheroes and villains and all that. You have all this. See, all this is possible because your imagination is your most powerful tool you have. So, direct all this, because here's the thing, people's consciousness is so easily directed wherever the controllers want it to be directed. The Amazon fires, you talk about like now the fast food like Popeyes and all this stuff where they have this marketing with the chickens and all that. I mean, dude, it's so fucking obvious. And then you have Instagram where now they're putting out like these contracts now. Oh, I do not consent to my pictures being shared and whatnot. I mean, this shit's been going on already anyway. How do you think when you download apps, you don't notice that before you open an app, it says, do you allow this app to access your contacts or access your photos and access your information? Because if you don't accept, you can't open the app. So you have to accept it if you want to run that app. Okay? Look at this app where people, they put their face and they age, 20 to 30 years later. This is how you would look as an old person. This is all data. This is all information that's collected. This is how you're going to look when you're 40 years down the line. But this is information that now they'll have encrypted. And you consented by taking the picture of your goofy ass face, all right? And then saying this is what I'm going to look like in 40 years, but then you promote it all over the internet. When in reality, this is open to anybody to view. So, you're consenting to all these things without even knowing, and you're directing your attention to things that really don't matter. Direct this attention inward, and you're going to see big changes happening in your life. See, the whole purpose of directing your energy inward is to really become love. See, a lot of people don't understand that. It's literally becoming love. Because, you see, the opposite of love is fear, okay? Fear, doubt. When you eliminate doubt from your life, from your reality, you would never, see, because the moment you create doubt, you create a possibility. See, this is all variables. You create a possibility for that thought that you just had to happen because you had doubt, and that doubt came from a thought of an alternate possibility happening to what you are actually intending on wanting to do. So how would you say, have you imagined how you would see the world if you eliminated fear and doubt from your life? See, fear is not to say that it's evil or it's bad. It's good to have fear because but the fear is to be used to become more present, more aware. and it's basically, yeah, you're in survival, okay? But it's all to be transmuted when you're conscious. You do this through breath, because don't forget, the way you breathe, okay, determines how you think, and then how you think is also determined based on how you're breathing. So, you know, let's eliminate this whole illusion of separation. This, you know, where we're coming into now, you know, we talk about 2020, 5G, 5D consciousness. It really is just about unity. It really is unity. And if you're not in that frequency, if you're in the frequency of, you know, putting out fear, putting out this illusion of separation, or trying to find things outside of you, okay? This is what you're co-creating with everybody outside of you, because this is the seeds that you're planting. So it's important to know what it is that you're going to be planting next. So we'll talk soon.